serving up a warm dish of the Triads culinary fare, here's your weekly helping of food, news, and views. This is The Man Who Ate the Town.
Hey folks, and welcome to episode 150 of the Man Who Ate the Town podcast. That's right, this is the Peters Creek Parkway edition of the Man Who Ate the Town podcast. This is for the week of April 20th through the 26th, 2020. My name is Tim Beeman.
My name's Ray Morgan.
And I'm Leah Met.
And we are opening the recipe box. We are recording this episode of the Man Who Ate the Town in the Less Desirable Studios in the lab at Industry Hill. We are practicing social distancing and using Zoom, sponsored by Bull's Tavern.
Thanks, Danielle.
Yes, thank you very, very much, Danielle. Today, Monday, the 20th, it's 420, so smoke them if you got them.
A little late, a little early in the day. We got to wait till this afternoon.
Well, that's
What?
true. It's supposed to be at 420. You know?
You don't know that?
Oh. It's 4:20 in some time zone, I'm sure.
Yeah, that's true. Just
Let's go
passed.
back a couple of zones. We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out.
So
We're playing
Higher
catch up.
math.
420 Cafe Arthur is reopening starting today. It's takeout only, as
Really?
it was. Yeah. So a great little diner that Stephanie and I used to go to often. We will whenever things go back the way they were, or at least some semblance of that. It's one of our breakfast options in our breakfast rotation. I'm glad to see that they're making a comeback. I hope that it sticks.
Yeah.
I
imagine
worry
that it would.
Yeah. I worry, though, about, and let me say the other one, too. Also, In Town Donuts is doing a little survey as to whether they should reopen. I want their donuts, but I don't want them to drive themselves out of business just trying to stay in business, you know?
Mhm.
So,
Yep.
with Arthur and a lot of these places, 66, I think, is opening back up, too.
Yep.
Yep. These places that are reopening, I hope that it sticks, because reopening again is going to be hard, even harder. And not just reopening, try to go through inventory, not just reopening for any other reason other than I'm in this for the long haul and we're going to stick to it. Because if they go out again and try to come back, it's going to be even more difficult.
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
I
that's
remember years ago, 30 years ago, when I first moved to Winston-Salem, going to Cafe Arthur's.
yeah,
And, obviously they've been around a long time, but they've already got a huge base of takeout orders from the two hospitals.
yeah,
So the fact that they're opening again, they give a 10% discount automatically if you work at either hospital. So I can't imagine them opening up and not seeing a line back out the front door.
yeah. And they're doing curbside too, I believe. So if you call them ahead of time, they will bring the food out to you.
Awesome.
I was able to go, and I know Leah's upset she didn't get an invite for this, but I was able to go to Burke Street Pizza to try their new updated stay-at-home menu, which is a lot of stuff from Uncle Buzzy's that migrated up the hill.
Mhm.
And this wasn't on that menu, but it's something new that Dave wanted to incorporate, and it was really, really good. So this is the Sriracha Ranch chicken sandwich.
Mm.
Yeah. So it's crispy
Mm.
fried chicken sandwich, chicken breast, I think, and on a potato bun that has this Sriracha Ranch sauce on it.
Wow.
And it's very, very good.
Cool
Also,
and hot, all at the same time.
yes. Also, yes, exactly. I love that when you take the hot stuff and mix it with the ranch, you get the spice and the tang
Mhm.
from the stuff in the ranch. Yeah. I had the cheeseburger. Not cheeseburger. I had the hot dog, foot-long hot dog. It was the chili cheese Frito dog.
Oh,
And
that sounds good.
And while I'll admit it wasn't as good 3 days later when I heated it back up, it
I don't
was.
think you're supposed to do that.
Well, you're
No.
not. But it was there, and I didn't want to waste it. And generally, I'm not a leftovers kind of guy, but in this tasting, as you'll hear, there's a shload of food that I had. So I just started wrapping stuff up. So on this, they have, let me see what I got here. Obviously there's chili. It's foot-long hot dog, jalapenos, diced jalapenos, diced tomatoes, and Fritos that were crumbled on this, and a shload of cheese. So yeah, that was great.
That sounds really good.
Dave had it's called the Swiss Mountain Dog. I didn't try that one, but it's sauteed garlic with sauteed garlic and thyme mushrooms, Swiss crispy onion straws, and a horseradish aioli. I didn't try that one, like I said, but it looked good. The picture turned out really good. We know that I am no stranger to don't shy away from the burgers.
No,
and I
love the burgers.
Yeah, I had a double stack burger with tomato. I left the lettuce off, but onions, pickles, and mayo, and had it looks like it's either white American or Swiss cheese on there, and it melted great. What's that head shake for, Leah? What's that all about?
I'm mad. I'm real mad. And the more you talk about this, the madder I'm getting that you didn't invite me. I'm mad.
You didn't invite me either.
I didn't invite Stephanie either. She got to stay home.
She should be even madder. Like matter squared or cubed. I'm matter squared. She's matter cubed.
Yeah.
Mad.
And Ray's just mad to the nth power.
Yes. Because that double stack burger sounds really good.
Yeah, you should see the picture. Go to Instagram and look at it. It's delicious looking.
I'll be mad.
The difference between this and the Uncle Buzzy's version was the Uncle Buzzy's was on a brioche bun, which I have voiced my opinion about before. I'm not a big brioche bun fan. I think the potato rolls are best, and that's what this was on. So that's a plus. And the pièce de la résistance was the beef en weck, which is a Buffalo staple, but they didn't have the right bun, which Dave said they have ordered, so they made do. They had caraway seeds still on there. But the original beef en weck is on a sea salt crusted caraway Kummelweck roll, which is Kummelweck is where the beef en weck comes from. And it's spread with horseradish. Now, this is a little bit different. It's rare roast beef with the horseradish cream sauce on there. This was a potato bun with the caraway seeds and stuff on there and salt, but they have the real Kummelweck buns coming, so that's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
The picture looks really good. Yes, I have to agree with you.
And I've really got to start eating something before I get on the show, because now my stomach's like, feed me some more.
Me too, actually. I haven't eaten yet either. And when I was in there, Dave made sure that we were more than 6 feet apart, because he had a tape measure, and it was actually 7 feet. So we were good there.
Nice.
Yeah. Also, I wanted to give a little bit of love to J&J Food Mart and U-Haul services. U-Haul, I mean, yeah, it's funny that it's called that.
It still cracks me up.
Yeah. But I had no need for the U-Haul, but I did have need for some good chicken, and this was good chicken. So I got the chicken nuggets, right? And
it looked really good.
Yeah, the picture on Instagram, I was very happy with it, but I was even happier with it going in my belly. The
After
chicken,
the lunch, you needed the U-Haul.
Yeah. Yes. Well, I brought it here, and luckily there was social distancing happening, so I didn't have to deal with anybody in there other than George. But I do want to mention, in addition to their great food, he is hiring. So if any of the people listening are service industry people, and you're a cook and you can deal with a fryer and chop up some chicken and bread some tenders and stuff, he's in need of a fryer. a cook. So that's his business is actually booming right now. So he's looking to put somebody to work. So if you're looking for work, that's the place to go. All right, so we're doing first time, I think, Ray, via the Zoom. We're going to do a getting in your business segment, and we're doing that with Richard Brewer from Corks, Caps, and Taps here in Winston-Salem on 4th Street. And we don't have sound effects on this show, but we're clapping and snapping and do the little horns and all that stuff. Richard, welcome to The Man Who Ate the Town. You are on the list that Leah and I have been curating for the last month. And you are one of my accounts because I have 0 through L and she has M through Z.
Lucky you.
But
Very, very scientific like.
Yes. We scientifically said, well, let's do this. And so I know that you are open. But you had told me, that not a lot of people are taking advantage of what you're doing, and you are offering, I won't say basement, bottom dollar prices, but you are offering deals for people to pre-order and then come do basically a curbside pickup. Am I correct?
Right. That's correct. So we teamed up with our wine distributor. We're exclusive with American Premium Beverage. They are the wine arm of RH Behringer, just for some knowledge there. RH Behringer does the beer side.
Right.
We could actually sell anything that's in their portfolio, which is, if you printed it out, it'd be about 200 pages. And we decided that was probably not the way to go. So along with them, that we put together a list that, it covered all varieties of wine, most varieties. And we tried to also do it in a way that we could offer some decent wines at good prices, even better than grocery store pricing in most cases. Typically at Corks, Caps, and Taps, because we're smaller, our prices, for a bottle to take home will be $1 or $2 higher than grocery stores. It's just, we can't buy the volume that they do. But this list we put together was probably a little bit better than grocery store pricing, or at least before the pandemic. I haven't really done a lot of research to see if the grocery stores have lowered their prices during this. I know that they're selling.
Ray says no.
Ray says no.
Head shake there. And maybe they've raised their prices. I don't know. But the list we put together was, from, light sweets all the way to bold reds and everything in between. And we thought it was a pretty good offering. And, we put it out there. The first week we had a little bit of response and we filled some orders. And the second week it went down. The third week we didn't get any. So we were, we kept promoting, and I did a couple of videos, impromptu videos from Corks, Caps, and Taps. And my wine rep, Andy from American Premium Beverage, he was the videographer.
Yeah.
And it was basically him going, okay, I'm going to hit the go live button, talk. There was nothing planned, nothing. And, it went pretty well. I mean,
kind of like we're doing to you right now.
Yeah, a little bit. My wife would say I'm good at talking. So anyway, we have a pretty good list of things, and we've made it pretty simple. We can bring our little iPad out to the curb and swipe your card. And some of the people who have been continuing to buy are repeat customers from the first week, and they're downtown folks and they want to support. But it's been very, very minimal. I mean, it's I don't know. People go and stock up on wine when this happened and bought cases and don't need wine, or people just aren't going out. We don't really know exactly what's going on. But I will say for us, I have a custom cabinet company as my main business, and my wife sells a marketing director for a continued care retirement facility with 2 campuses. So Corks, Caps, and Taps for us is more of a hobby. And so our sympathies are with the bars and restaurants that are downtown, or even, not just downtown, that rely on it for their livelihood. We're not in that category. And so we haven't really stressed too much about not having many orders. We'd love to have them, and we'd love to help people fulfill the needs they have. But at the same time, our sympathies go out to the people who do rely on their business as their only income, and they've got to be suffering. And, I venture to say that some of them never get opened back up.
Yeah. I, in addition to the Man Who Ate the Town, I'm also the host of the Less Desirables podcast, and Danielle Bull from Bull's Tavern is one of my co-hosts, and she's not been open since before St. Patrick's Day. So she's really feeling, and I talk with her daily and video chat like this with her at least once a week, sometimes twice. And yeah, they're really feeling it. I have a lot of friends in the bar industry. The breweries are okay because, they can still make and they can still sell and ship, and people can come in and get crowlers and growlers, and they have, like, I bought 2 tall boys from Incendiary on the way in today because we are also going to record the Less Desirables today. But yeah, so that is a struggle, but I'm glad that you are at least have a supplemental or a main income, and this is your supplement, and I'm sorry that it's taken a hit, but I'm glad that you're not completely hurting from it.
Well, our little bar, by the way, we up until a couple of months ago, we had 36 taps.
Yeah.
And they were all craft beers. We've lowered that down to 20 to make it a little more manageable, because what I was finding is we do our beers kind of like our wines. We start on one end with cider, sours, and wheats, and then we move up to pilsners, ales, and lagers, and then we move to IPAs, and then reds, browns, and stouts. So we kind of cover the whole gamut.
Yeah. And
it was getting just a little difficult to manage with 36 taps because we don't have a walk-in. We have, all of ours are small kegs underneath, and it's kind of difficult to manage. And really our main thing, and I think what we're known for, is being a wine bar, because if you haven't been in there, our place has 4 self-serve wine stations, and they're 4 bottles each. So there are 16 bottles of wine on tap at all times. And just like with the beers we do, we start with sweet wines, dry whites, medium bodied reds, bold reds. And people really love the idea of being able to come in, get a card from the bar that operates the machines, and sit down and taste, because I think what it does is, especially, it kind of appeals to everybody, because if you don't know much about wine, you can come in and you don't have to be afraid to ask the bartender for something you can't pronounce.
Yeah.
You can just take the card, you can hit the button, and it gives you an option for a 1 ounce, 2.5 ounce, or a 5 ounce pour. So if you just want to do a taste, you can get a 1 ounce pour. You can do it in complete anonymity. You don't have to know a lot about the wine. If you don't like it, you can pour it out. We got, dump buckets. They can pour it in, rinse their glass, and move on. So we get a lot of folks like that on Thursday when we have half price wine, because they're learning about wine.
Sure.
And that's a good way to do it. On the other hand, if you know about wine and you come in and you go right to the machine that's, got the wines that you like, every week we have 4 different bold reds. If you're a bold red guy, every week you can come in and try, 4 different wines, that you maybe never had. So, but with the beers, we also have been filling some growlers. In fact, the first couple of weeks, we filled about as many growlers as we sold bottles of wine.
Yeah.
And that's kind of tapered off too, in fact, it ended up where I was just having my staff fill their growlers, and they would call me, and I'd say, look, you don't have to call me. You have a key. You open the place every time you work. Yeah. You disarm the alarm. You open the computer system up, do it just like you would. Come in, open up, get your growler or growler filled, close down the system, and leave, set the alarm, so we've had a lot of that as well. But
I might need a job. I've got about 6 growlers.
Yeah, come on. Anytime. So So I guess when I started this little, I'm known for going off on tangents, but when I started this, you know, I was trying to say that we're not really a high volume place anyway.
Right.
We're a low volume before dinner group, after dinner group, you know, and more laid back. The music kind of fits the atmosphere. It's laid back. It's home. It feels like you're at home. It feels like a bonus room at your home. And so we're never really like Bull's Tavern, which we wouldn't mind being a little more busy. It's just not how the place operates.
Right. It's not the model.
That's right. And you know, we tried live music for the first couple of years. We bought the place in 2017, the
Right.
December of 2017, and you know, our capacity's low. So you know, once you pay all the rights companies for the music rights,
Yeah.
you pay the band. Then on a Friday night, you have the same amount of people you had on a Friday night without the music. We can't even really offer live music. It's too burdensome, you know, on the pocketbook. So
Oh, I get it. Yeah.
yeah. So we have a jukebox we've added, which is really cool. So, but we do have house music, and we keep it going. But anyway,
Well,
I'll stop talking for a minute and see if you have any
Well,
questions.
I do have a question,
Well-
and it was going to be from before you talked about the tastings and stuff. I was going to ask, do you think some of the uh, downtrending of people coming by are because they don't necessarily know what wine they want and they don't have the opportunity to taste it first?
Maybe. I mean, you know, there's other places you can buy wine downtown.
Yeah,
Not many, not many. I mean, I think Six and Vine sells it by the bottle. Dogwood, I think, sells it by the bottle.
they do.
And I'm not sure if City Beverage sells wine or not.
They
Honestly.
do. They do.
Yeah. So I mean, there's other options, and like I said, we don't really have that um, group of absolute regulars. I mean, we have people that we see frequently, but we don't. You know, like Bull's Tavern, they have people who they're there every Friday or every Saturday or every Friday and Saturday
Yeah.
every week.
Yeah.
And our group's not really like that. So maybe when they're going to the grocery stores and they're picking up, you know, the things they have to have, toilet paper if they can find it, paper towels, and maybe they're grabbing a bottle or two. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Costco, I was in Costco yesterday. They got a lot of wine in Costco, and Costco sells their wine for a good price. So I mean,
Well,
you know,
Costco is the fourth largest retailer in the country, so they have buying power.
they have buying power, and they also have and I probably shouldn't give away the little industry secret, but you know, Costco has a 15% markup uh, policy. At least I've been told, on everything, including wine, which you know, means if they get it at a discounted price because they're buying bulk and they mark it up 15%, sometimes they're buying it cheaper than I can. I mean, they're selling it for cheaper than I can buy it wholesale for.
Right.
So
Yeah.
you know, but you know, it's a different thing, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Leah, did you
Well-
have a question? I'm sorry.
Yeah. Do you have online or somewhere the list of I get the wine, but I'm not a wine person. I'm a beer person.
Yeah.
Of your
Bless you,
taps,
sister.
do you have what's on
Yeah. So if you look on the,
where do we go?
I think the best place, because the website, you know, and you guys probably know this well. I mean, websites nowadays kind of take a backseat to social media sites,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mhm.
you know, we spend a lot more time updating and doing stuff like that on like Facebook. If you go on our Facebook page, our last beer menu, what I do, we're also on Untapped. I don't know if you know what Untapped is.
Mm-hmm.
Untapped is a
Yeah.
social media. If you do, then this will be redundant for you. But Untapped is a lot of people think of it as a beer review place, but it's much more than that.
Mhm.
It's you know, a very it's a large social media platform that spans the world. You know, and we keep it every time I update our menu, it automatically updates to Untapped. So you know, you can kind of check it out on there. But our Facebook feed, if you go through there, you can see the wines we've listed that we're offering for special rates, and you can also see our beer list.
Okay. Great.
Yeah, I love Untapped, and it started off as a beer rating app, and it has become like Richard said, it is a social media platform, and I keep track of what I've had and then what did I feel about it. So if I'm just in the mood for something different, I'm in the store or in a bottle shop or wherever I'm at, and I'm scrolling through, I'm like, oh, I didn't like that last time. So it makes me think, well, maybe how was that, just a bad batch? Was it what? So I might get like one, but
Yeah.
if there's something I love, and I have it rated as a 5, which is rare, but if I have it rated as a 5, that's something I'm just going to go ahead and grab.
Well,
Let's,
the other thing about it is, it'll also, you know, as you rate your beers, it will tell you what your taste profile is as you go along. It'll keep up with what you trend.
yeah,
And the other thing, we try everything. I mean, so like we'll put on beers that a lot of people in Winston Salem or anywhere around here get. Like we'll get Heretic or Epic, brewery from California, which you don't see a lot around here, and it's such good beer. And if you have a Epic Brewing IPA and you have it at Corks, Caps, and Taps, 3 months later, you're never going to remember what it was called because you're not going to see it in the stores. You're not going to see it at other bars. You're not going to see it in any breweries around. So, I mean, it's, so it helps you also remember the things that you will forget, cause we try, I think at one time last year, we had 3 different beers on from Delirium. And if you're a beer drinker, you know that that's Delirium is kind of a rare beer. If you go in a bar and they've got one Delirium on tap, that's kind of a big deal. We had 3 on tap at one time last year. Yeah, so
Wow.
I mean the Belgian beer. So, and you get the people that come in and they know it. You get the people who say, "Why is this beer $7.50 for a 10-ounce pour?" So they try it, but just because they're curious, But
yeah.
and then they have it and they usually love it. But anyway, so I'm on a tangent again.
No, trust me, the 3 of us on here are quite prone to go off on tangents. It's not a problem.
What are you trying to say?
Because we are verbose and we like to talk. Ray, you have any questions?
No. Truthfully, you've given us such a great update on what you're doing there.
Mhm.
We appreciate you coming on so we have a chance to let folks know what's happening at Corks, Taps, and Caps.
Man, I appreciate it. Come see us. And yeah, check out our Facebook page. And we do some Instagram, but not a lot, because it's a little more cumbersome. Facebook's a lot, kind of syncs up with the other things we do. And so
if you
anyway,
turn
yeah.
your Facebook into a business page and your Instagram into a business page, you can post to Instagram via your Facebook page.
Yeah, I have to check that out. We had a guy who was going to kind of do all of our social media for us, and he was doing a pretty good job. And then he was a grad student at Wake Forest. By the way, we get a lot of grad students from Wake Forest,
Yeah.
Especially on Thursday nights, half price wine. I don't know if it's their age, where they feel like, we've outgrown the beer halls and the dollar beers and the PBRs. And so now we're grad students and we're going to drink wine and beer. But, we get a lot of them on Thursday nights. Just another thing for reference, when we get open back up, our Wednesday night is half price all pints every week. Thursday night is half price wine every week. So, I mean, we have some good deals, and and on our taps, the closest thing we have to a so-called domestic
We
is
call it
Stella.
crap.
We keep Stella on.
Okay. Yeah. It's Belgian.
Stella.
We'll go with it. It's
So
Belgian. Yeah.
we have a if you get to come in when we get open back up, we've got a customer. He's a Scottish gentleman, and he comes in 3 or 4 days a week and has 3 or 4 pints of Stella, and that's why we keep it on. And if you come in, he'll tell you why it's the best beer every time you come in. He'll tell
Okay.
you that story.
And you do have, whenever everything is up and running like normal and smoothly, you do have the benefit of being beside one of the greatest restaurants in town. That's Yamas. Just love
Yamas.
Yamas.
They do a great job, and if we get to the point, we went through that phase of saying when the highway opens,
Yeah.
when the construction on the hotel that's 100 yards from our front door is not blocking half the road.
Yeah.
When the building across the street, which is now a federal courthouse, I don't know if you knew that.
Did not know
But
that.
when they finish that, see, our block was a dead zone for 2 years. First 2 years we actually had the place, and then we started this year saying this is our year. The highway's going to open, the Marriott's going to open, this place across the street's done. So this is going to be the year. Then the pandemic hit. So
Yeah.
but so hopefully we'll pick that up when we get through this.
Well, Richard, I promise you that whenever some sense of normalcy comes back, I will be through to shake your hand and buy your wares and support you. And we're going to make sure that people know today and on social media and all that you are that you're there and you need support. And the
last
town
thing
needs
I'll
to
tell
do
you
it.
is we got a couple new customers in the last couple of days yesterday and today is because my wife and I bought sausage biscuits and Krispy Kreme donuts to deliver to the 911 call center downtown Winston
Yeah.
yesterday for the folks who have to work weekends during this and delivered it. So as a result of that, it was not our goal. My brother-in-law works there, but as a result of that, we've been contacted by a few people who were the beneficiaries of the sausage biscuits and the donuts yesterday, and want to know if they can come pick up a bottle of wine tomorrow. So,
Awesome.
Yes. The answer is yes. You can come by 2 or 3 or 4 a case. Why not?
Actually, that was not our goal at all. In fact, we weren't even going to mention it, but our brother-in-law put it out on social media, and so we were just thinking of them. So we thought we would take them a treat.
That's awesome. And it's awesome for you to do that. That's local supporting local. And we commend you and we appreciate you doing that. So
very much.
I appreciate you having me on, guys.
All right, Richard, you have a great day. And that is Corks, Caps, and Taps. What's the address there again? 626
West 4th Street. Right beside Yamas and in between Yamas and Foothills. You can't miss us.
Right on. All right. Again, thank you to Richard Brewer at Corks, Caps, and Taps for stopping by and letting us get into his business a little bit. Mm-hmm. Or as Dusty Rowe would say, getting in your business. Business. You got to get out. Let's do some food holidays in history. Today is 420. I have nothing about 420 on here other than... it is National Pineapple Upside Down Cake Day.
Oh.
It's National Pot Brownie Day.
It is National Pot Brownie Day. It's National Hallucinogen Edibles Day.
Not officially, but we just proclaimed it.
Yeah.
Why not?
I know plenty of people who will be participating. More with, even the pineapple upside down cake. I'm more excited about that. I'm even more excited about 420, and I've never smoked pot before, than I am about National Lima Bean Respect Day.
Ooh.
What? No.
Yeah.
No.
National Lima Bean Respect Day.
We were just on a great high. And
I see what you did there.
You ran us into the mountain. Boom.
Mm-hmm.
Crash.
Yeah.
Lima beans. Really?
I should
Lima
respect
beans.
Day.
Of all things.
Like, we have to respect lima beans now.
No. I love beans. I don't like lima beans.
I like lima beans if it's in like a veggie soup or
you drop 1 or 2 in like 30 gallons of soup. Yeah, that'd be good.
Yes. Yeah. But lima beans on their own. I have just recently gotten to where I could eat pintos and things like that because I've always hated those. Growing up, I showed my mom, I sent a picture of me eating some the other day, and she about fell on the floor, she said, because I was so stubborn when I was a kid. When she was a kid, she would cry if they didn't have beans and cornbread for dinner. Wow. Pintos and cornbread. And I would cry if we did. And she would still try to make me eat it, and I couldn't leave the table until I finished. Hours.
You sat there until the next breakfast.
Hours. Yeah. Nope, not doing it. Not doing it. Not doing it.
Yeah, no intention of respecting the lima bean.
Yeah.
Sorry, just not gonna do it.
We got a total disrespect. You can put some
Negative, but-
respect on it.
I can respect the people who are respecting the limas, but I don't want to have anything to do with them.
Nope.
Nice.
No.
In
If we-
18 what?
If we go back to the pineapple upside down cake,
Mm-hmm.
Please.
since we've been in this quarantine, my wife has decided that she's gonna cook and explore a little bit more. So she made pineapple upside down cake, and she made the Weight Watchers version, which I kind of was like, okay, whatever. But that shit was good.
Nice.
I don't know if it's because we've been locked down at the house and have not had these delicious treats like this, nor have gone out, or if it was actually good.
Yeah.
It's yet to be determined, but it's all gone.
You know,
So,
hey, perception is reality. So if you perceive that it
Yes.
was good, it was good.
it was good. It was pretty good. Mhm.
Did you have another pineapple upside down cake? The answer is no. Then
No.
that was a good one.
That was a good one. That was a good
Um,
one. Mhm.
On 420 in 1841, Edgar Allan Poe's The Murders in the Rue Morgue was published. It was the first modern detective story.
Cool. I
And,
always loved Poe.
and today is the 10th anniversary of the Deepwater Horizon oil rig explosion 40 miles off the Louisiana coast in the Gulf of Mexico, killing 11 men. The subsequent oil spill, over 200 million gallons, was the largest marine oil spill and environmental disaster in U.S. history. But again, as we've said, BP have done all they can do to rectify and make do and took responsibility for it, unlike Exxon.
Yeah. Hard to believe it's been 10 years already.
Yep.
Yeah.
2010, 420. Somebody must have been high.
Yeah, that's probably what caused it.
They're celebrating. Oh, crap.
Here, hold my beer.
Here, hold my hand. Oh, it's a
Ooh.
spill. On 421 is National Chocolate Covered Cashews Day.
Yeah. Chocolate and cashews.
Yes.
Can't go wrong.
Cashews is my favorite legume. And that's I can deal with them covered with chocolate or otherwise. I just like cashews. I actually had a packet of
love
them before I got you guys on. So that's the only thing I've had today. So,
Oh, well. You need a little bit more than cashews.
Zesto's on its way as soon as we're done here. In 1959, Alfred Dean caught a record 2,664-pound great white shark with a rod and reel off Seduna, Australia.
Wow.
A rod and reel
Yeah, that
for
sounds
over 2 tons
dangerous.
of shark. That does sound dangerous.
That's
I wonder
amazing.
if he had a spinnerbait on it.
I wonder if he's one of them there Zebco rod and reels.
I doubt it. And they had one of those little worms. I feel like
Yeah.
a little bitty worm on a great big hook. In 1962, on 421, the Seattle's World's Fair, the Century 21 Exposition, opened in Seattle. And with that, the Top of the Needle restaurant in Seattle, Washington, the Space Needle, was officially opened. It seats 260 and rotates completely once every hour.
Cool.
So I didn't realize it was that old, but it is.
I didn't either. Didn't know it was part of a World's Fair. You know, Knoxville, Tennessee had a World's Fair.
In the
And
80s, right?
Built
Early 80s?
another. Was it 82?
Yeah.
Did the same thing. They built a tower, big mirrored ball with a restaurant inside that spins.
Nice.
They got the
In-
idea from Seattle. I thought it was original.
Yeah. Well, and Seattle was the second one. I forget where the first one was. It didn't last too long. In the year after that, the Beatles and Rolling Stones met for the first time at the Crawdaddy Club.
Well,
On 422, it is Earth Day. The first
Yeah.
Earth Day in 1970. activated 20 million Americans from all walks of life, and is widely credited with launching the modern environmental movement. Growing out of the first Earth Day was the Earth Day Network, with over 22,000 partners in 192 countries to broaden, diversify the movement. And also, it is on the 22nd, the Bermuda Peppercorn Ceremony. And you're wondering, what the hell does that mean? It's held on the Wednesday closest to St. George's Day, which this year, St. George's Day, is the 23rd of April. And the Peppercorn Festival for Bermuda is very important. A major annual ceremonial event in St. George, when the governor officially receives one peppercorn from a Freemason official. In 1816, Bermuda's capital moved from St. George to Hamilton City. The old stone state house, built in 1619, was given to the Freemasons for an annual rent of one peppercorn. So it's basically ceremonial, of course, but they every year have an actual ceremony that they hand over one peppercorn. I think that's,
don't use it all in one dish.
Yeah. Yes, if you pickle it, then you have a caper.
Oh, I didn't realize that's where capers.
Yeah, capers are basically green peppercorns that are fermented and pickled.
I learn so much every time.
There you go. And it's also National Jelly Bean Day on the 22nd.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Just regular jelly beans or Jelly Bellies?
I'm a Jelly Belly kind of fan, although I also like the spiced jelly beans, and I like regular jelly beans. I'm just, I could be Jimmy Carter. Not Jimmy Carter. Jimmy Carter was peanuts. I could be Ronald Reagan, I guess, for that. Well, yeah. I do love me some jelly beans. Nance, please bring me some.
Years ago.
That was awful. I apologize for that stupid.
I was working with a client, and it was during their lunch hour, and they had just purchased a package of Jelly Bellies that were the Hogwarts every flavor bean.
Bertie Bott's every flavor bean. Yeah. Who got the earwax? Who got vomit?
Well, she was like, I tell you what, I'll buy from you, but you're going to have to eat one of these. I'm like, all right, it's a jelly bean. How bad can it be? So the first one she gave me was the flavor of dirt. And sure enough, it tasted like dirt. I'm like, oh, God, this is nasty. She's like, all right, just one more. Just eat this one more, and I'll sign whatever contract you want to put in front of me. I'm like, okay, fine. Give me the jelly bean. Bile flavored. Oh, man. That was vile. Oh, man. I'm like, you are definitely signing, and put an extra 0 on it for the bile.
Yes.
So she put it on the front.
Oh, well, yeah. Yeah. Actually, she put it after the decimal points. It really Oh, my gosh. Yeah. I love Jelly Belly, but they did a really good job reproducing bile, but I don't ever want to have that again.
Yeah. I had not heard of the dirt or bile, but I know that there is a vomit flavor and an earwax flavor.
Yeah, no thanks.
My question though is, who taste tested these to make sure that they tasted like that?
Well, yeah. And who was like, we should make a jelly bean out of this. You know what I mean? Like, this would be just a brilliant thing for us to sell.
Well, it's not the jelly beans that you're buying because you're thinking, I love the taste of bile, I want more. It's the chance that you might leave these out on my desk and just watch people eating them. Yeah. It's the pranksters that are buying this stuff.
And the thing was, you didn't know what you were getting, because it was, you go in and you buy the thing, the box or the package that it came in, and it was just an assorted thing.
Yeah. Well, she had the guide.
Yeah.
So she knew what I was getting. And she enjoyed watching my reaction. I didn't enjoy experiencing my reaction, but she enjoyed watching it.
Yeah. Hey, try this jelly bean. It's fart flavored. So,
Oh.
on the 22nd in 1878, the White House hosted the first Easter Monday egg roll. Previously, not egg roll as in like, you know, what you get with your fake Chinese food. I mean, the egg roll. Previously, the activities had been held on the Capitol grounds, but Congress passed a law banning the practice due to a limited maintenance and landscaping budget. Bah, humbug to them. But it was President Rutherford B. Hayes who was asked if children could hold the activities on the South Lawn. The White House and he enthusiastically agreed to let it happen, and the event has been held there ever since.
Did they do one this year?
I don't think they did one this
I
year.
don't think so. Yeah.
Yeah, this is going to be the year when we create new trivia questions.
Yes. This
Like,
is the year of
how-
trivia.
You know, when did they not have the Easter egg hunt at the White House? 2020?
Your default answer will go to 2020 for about everything at this point.
Yeah.
Mhm.
In 1889, the U.S. opened Oklahoma to homesteaders, and the Oklahoma land rush officially began at noon. So they were sitting at the Oklahoma border, I guess, in Tennessee and maybe above it, and said, "Go!" And
Here we go.
Or Arkansas or wherever that's next to it, but just go. And the people, okay, I claim this one. Wait, there's already people living here. They'll move.
I'll move them.
Yeah. Don't worry, we'll
Pardon
move
me.
them. They don't count. In 1913, Thomas Wright of New Jersey patented a method to load ice onto a refrigerator railroad car.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. And it's what I said whenever I wrote it.
I guess you
and-
got to figure that out at some point.
And I wonder if it was a big piece of ice or I don't know how that
A
works.
bunch of little pieces of ice.
Yeah. In 1992, a series of sewer explosions in Guadalajara, Mexico, killed more than 250 people, injured hundreds of others, and left 15,000 people homeless. Flawed design in the sewer pipe system allowed gasoline from an adjacent pipeline to leak into the sewer pipes.
Yeah. 1 ounce of gasoline in an enclosed container has the destructive power of a stick of dynamite.
Yep.
Wow.
And then you mix that with methane gas.
Yeah. Boom.
Yeah. Boom goes the lights.
I was going to make some jokes about it, but man, that was horrible destruction.
That would be
Yeah.
shitty, wouldn't it?
It'd be pretty bad.
He went there.
on the 23rd of April, it's National Picnic Day, National English Muffin Day, National Cherry Cheesecake Day, and if we were in the UK, I would be complaining all day about this day. Any guesses as to what it is? What's something we know that I absolutely hate?
Asparagus.
It would be National Asparagus Day in the United Kingdom today.
It's also my grandmother's birthday.
The 23rd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Lulu.
That's right. And it's also the day in 1564 that William Shakespeare was born. It is also
Wow.
the day in 1616 that William Shakespeare died.
Wow.
Oh.
Didn't
He
know that
died
he
on
was
this-
born and died on the same.
Yep, 52.
date.
He died at the age of 52 on his 52nd birthday.
Wow. So I'm older than Shakespeare was. That's okay.
Well, I mean, that's good. Again, the alternative is not being alive.
Yeah.
Uh,
I've outlived Shakespeare. Woohoo!
on the 23rd in 1895, Purdy and Peters were issued a patent for a design for spoons. I don't know what the
Wow.
spoon looked like or what, but on the 23rd,
You would have thought that spoons kind of went back, like thousands of years, and it
Right.
wasn't, we've just invented them.
yeah, I don't
We want the patent.
In 1895, I don't know.
Yeah.
In 1980,
Seems like spoons would have been around before then. I'm just saying.
I would say probably. In 1982, on the 23rd, the Conch Republic, which is Key West and the Florida Keys, seceded from the United States to protest an Immigration and Naturalization Service roadblock on the only road into the Keys.
Hmm. Yep, there's only one road from
Yes,
Miami all the way down.
that's a lot of bridges.
It's a lot of bridges. You ever been down through there?
I have not. Further
Yeah, it's
south
gorgeous.
on that in this country that I've been is Miami.
It's a very long drive down to Key West. It's not that it's that far, it's that you can't go that fast. It really is just one road all the way down.
Right.
And in many cases it's just 2 lanes.
I have no desire whatsoever to be there.
It is a beautiful drive. I will say that. It's a beautiful drive.
I believe you. Still
You
not
should.
interested in. I know you're a preacher, but
And I've been there.
yes, and you've been there. Didn't you live in Florida for a bit?
I was born in Miami,
Okay.
actually.
Okay,
So yeah, my family used to have a house down in Key Largo. So we'd drive down and then kind of stay there and use that as our base of operation to go visit some of the other keys in the area. Yeah,
that's a
it's
great
beautiful place.
song, by the way. Key Largo,
Yeah.
Bertie
Yeah.
Higgins,
Yeah.
just like Bogey and Bacall. On the 23rd in 1985 is the fateful day that Coca-Cola announced it was changing its 99-year-old secret formula, and New Coke sucked like a Hoover. It was basically not as good as Pepsi.
Right.
It was a Pepsi that wasn't as good as Pepsi, is what
Yeah.
they became. Yeah, that was absolutely stupid.
That was, yeah, talking about a marketing fiasco.
Yes,
That was
I
one
was
of them
gonna
right
say.
there.
That was one of the biggest ever.
Ranks up there with the Chevy Nova when they sent it to Mexico.
Yeah. Yeah. What is that? Nova means no go, right?
Nova means no go. Yeah.
No go.
Yeah. Buy the car whose name says no go.
Yeah.
No go.
Okay. Well, on the 24th is National Arbor Day. It's the last Friday in April, and many states observe different dates according to best local tree planting times. It's also on the 24th, National Pigs in a Blanket Day. Now,
Oh.
there are 2 different kinds of pigs in the blanket that I know of. What I grew up calling pigs in the blanket was basically a hot dog rolled in a crescent roll, right? Or a
Yeah.
croissant. Other places call a pig in the blanket sausage links wrapped up
Mhm.
in pancakes.
Yes.
Mm.
Either way, but on totally different levels, I am a huge fan. Because I
Yep.
love splattering a big thing of yellow mustard over my crescent rolled filled hot dogs. And I
Yep.
love pouring syrup over top of my sausage link covered or filled pancakes. So I'm happy. I'm as happy as a pig in a blanket on either one of those.
For a minute there, I thought you were talking about me.
No.
You know, I was wearing the blanket last night, but not now.
You know, it's hard to call me because I rarely get under a blanket. So I'm just a pig. On the 24th in 1833, Jacob Ebert and George Dalty patented the first soda fountain. And sadly, you don't find a lot of soda fountains around anymore.
Mm-mm.
I'm just picturing one like outside and shooting straight up and kids running through it. And...
That's no mister. That's a soda fountain. In 1886, petroleum was discovered in the Middle East on the Egyptian shore of the Red Sea. So I thought that was longer too, but I guess they really had no reason to have oil before then. So, hey, what is this? It's black gold, Texas tea.
Better move away from here. California's the place you want to be.
Saudi Arabia's the place you want to be. So
Move to Dubai.
So they packed up the camel and they moved away from Tripoli. Okay, so this was Libya. I'm sorry. I'm in the weird mood today. In 1949, on the 24th, chocolate rationing. Yeah, today. Chocolate rationing ended in Britain.
Oh, that was a good day.
Yeah, that was. We should celebrate. Let's rejoice and be glad in it.
Yes.
On the 24th in 1985, Thomas Stanley, a researcher at Georgia State University, reported that there were 832,602 millionaires in the United States. Their average age was 57 years old.
I wasn't one of them.
Nor was I.
Because I was only 19, so maybe that's the deal.
I was 14.
Yeah, whippersnapper.
Yeah. Leah was, what,
I don't know.
9.
9.
Yeah, 85. April of 85, you were 9.
Oh, yeah.
In 1994, on the 24th, a world record lollipop of 3,011 pounds is made in Denmark. How?
A ton and a half of lollipop.
And is everybody licking it at the same time?
Oh.
How many licks to get to the center of it?
I bet it was more than 3.
How many licks did before you got that then day version of the coronavirus? Licking it. One. Yeah, exactly. You just breathe in the right way. In 2003, Canada announced the closure of what remained of the cod fishery in Newfoundland, the maritime provinces of Quebec, maritime provinces and in Quebec, due to depleted stocks of cod. I believe they built that back up because I believe cod still is pretty prevalent. On the 25th, it's National Zucchini Bread Day.
I like zucchini bread.
I'm okay with it. Funny story. When we first moved here, my mom's never been known for her baking prowess. We moved down here and she decided to make zucchini bread. What she made was cucumber bread.
Oh. Yeah. Yeah, that doesn't fly quite as well.
No, it does not. I kept wanting to put salt on it, and I couldn't figure out why. And the 25th is actually the latest date that Easter Sunday can occur.
Cool.
It cannot be any later than that. On the 25th in 1856, Charles Lutwidge Dodson met a little girl named Alice Liddell. Alice had a penchant for consuming unknown and apparently psychoactive food, pills, and liquids that she found while exploring a very large rabbit hole. You may know these two people better by their pen and fictional names, Lewis Carroll and Alice in Wonderland.
Mm-hmm.
In 1859, work began on the 100-mile-long Suez Canal in Egypt to link the Red Sea with the Mediterranean Sea. The canal was, or if you want to do it phonetically, the canal was officially opened on November 17th in 1869, 10 years later. In 1959, on the 25th, the St. Lawrence Seaway opened. It connected the Great Lakes with the Atlantic Ocean. Its completion opened the heart of America's industrial and agricultural areas to ocean-going vessels for shipping. The official opening ceremony is June of that year, 1959. In 1965, on the 25th, Swedish engineer Sten Gustav Thulin was issued a U.S. patent assigned to Celloplast Company for the modern disposable plastic grocery bag.
The scourge of the earth.
Yes, the ones that never go away.
Nope.
He must be proud of himself. I'm not a tree hugger, so I mean, I try to take care of what I can, and I don't like to use plastic, but I don't think that was needed at the time. There's a lot of trees being cut down, so it was okay.
But we talk about trees being cut down, but they are a renewable resource.
They are.
We can plant more.
We
Mhm.
can, but we have to make sure we do it at a comparable rate. If we're cutting down more than we're growing, we eventually will run out. And we need the trees to breathe.
We do need them.
Yes. But then again, I try to use reusable bags as often as possible.
I just
Or
don't go.
recycle at least them.
I just don't go shopping at all.
Well, there's that.
You make somebody else do the shopping.
Yeah,
Mel does it.
yeah. Well, and I would say that I'm probably like your mother, where she would send me for zucchinis, and I would come home with cucumbers or squash or something, and be
Yeah.
like, "What? I don't understand. What do you mean?
It's a
not
watermelon. You
zucchini?
can do the same thing.
That's right. Watermelon bread.
It'll be fine."
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not allowed in the grocery store.
On the 26th of April, it's National Pretzel Day.
Mm.
Ooh.
On the 26th in 1877, Minnesota held a state day of prayer to plead for an end to a 4-year plague of Rocky Mountain locusts. In
Wow.
southwestern Minnesota, locusts had been eating crops, trees, tobacco, fence posts, leather, dead animals, sheep's wool, everything but the mortgage. So
Wow.
2 days later, after this prayer started, a snowstorm moved through and the locusts were never seen again. No one knows what caused the locust plague, nor why the Rocky Mountain locust became extinct after the plague.
Wow.
Would you say that was the collective power of prayer?
Some might
I
say
would.
that. Ray would say that.
I would say that. Yeah. I would claim that.
And I would just nod and smile and point. Yeah.
Smile and wave, boys. Yeah.
And,
What he said.
Yeah. 1986, on the 26th, in the Ukraine, Chernobyl nuclear plant explodes, the worst nuclear disaster in history. In addition to the human toll, agriculture and livestock was contaminated by radiation in large areas of Europe for years to come. It's still a wasteland.
Yeah.
You're not allowed
Some
to go
of the
near it.
the video that I've seen recently from Chernobyl is spooky,
Yeah.
because everything was just, I mean, they left immediately,
Yeah.
left everything behind.
The schools had like papers and drawings and stuff still in there. You can still find it.
Yeah. Yeah. Eerie.
34 years later. And in 2005, on the 26th, a herd of buffalo escaped from a farm and wandered around Baltimore, disrupting traffic and shutting down several major highways. Police eventually herded them into a nearby tennis court.
I understand that happened in Winston-Salem, I don't know, 40, 50 years ago, on where Business 40 comes down Cloverdale Hill, where there used to be that big curve,
Yeah.
that a tractor trailer carrying cattle turned over.
On
So
the
they had
curve.
cows wandering all up into Ardmore, and yeah.
I don't doubt that. In 2006, on the 26th, Chicago banned the sale of foie gras. It was repealed in 2008, thank goodness.
They didn't hold on to that very long.
No, I am a fan of foie gras.
I'm like, why would you ban that?
Well,
all things.
California bans the production of it. They don't ban you having it because some people think it's cruel and unusual to the duck or goose that you are overfeeding and giving a lot, so it'll fatten up the liver. So that's what foie gras is duck or goose liver that's fat.
Yeah.
That's why it's so flavorful. Because we know fat is flavor, and I am delicious. So,
Muy delicioso.
On the 26th in 2012, Indonesia suspends some U.S. beef imports following the discovery of an American dairy cow in California infected with mad cow disease.
They've got one cow that's infected.
Yeah.
Ship them all back.
Yes. So that's, yeah. That's your food holidays in history for this week. Special thanks to James Ealer at foodreference.com for making us chuckle, roll our eyes, think about how much I hate asparagus, how chocolate-covered legumes are pretty good, and yeah, and wondering about how many people are licking on that big-ass lollipop.
I was looking back on my Facebook this morning. We missed something that happened 1 year ago today.
What was that?
Oh,
We were at Zesto's for a tasting.
Was it my... Oh, that was the big tasting where all of us were doing that.
Carol Leggett was there, Nikki Miller-Ka, you, me, Jeanette Adams, Tim Clodfelter, Eddie Walker. I'm just looking at the post that Algernon put out there with everybody's picture on it as well.
And Trey and Stephanie, too.
Yes, that's exactly right. Wow. That was one of the best tastings.
Yes.
That was a great day.
Yeah. We love Zesto here. If you don't know that, we love it. And Algernon has the new food and beverage coalition, Triad Food and Beverage Coalition. And actually next Monday, he will be our guest on this show.
Awesome.
To talk about that. So that's good and fun.
Is he bringing samples?
No, he's not coming on here. He's doing just like you guys are doing in Zooming.
Well, he can mail samples.
Yeah, mail it. Yeah, put it in a manila envelope.
Yep. Yep. One of those foil lines so it stays hot.
Yeah, there you go.
Get it on up.
The Man Who Ate the Town podcast is part of the Less Desirables podcast network. Along with this podcast, you can listen to the Less Desirables, Beer Dad's, Fan Interference, Apartment 5B, Beeswax, Vinyl, and more, Sipping in C, Once This Mess is Over, and Wheeler's Dog, which is twice a week. You can find all these podcasts and their latest episodes on our network website and directory, tldpodnetwork.com. You'll also find social media links for each one there as well. We'd greatly appreciate it if you visited our sponsors like Carrabba's Italian Grill, located at 587 South Stratford Road. Let Daniel demonstrate what a responsible large-scale family of restaurants looks like. Carrabba's takes the community it serves very seriously, as if it was not evident by everything that Daniel does. And having a fantastic franchisee like Daniel as the the guy who owns the place, certainly doesn't suck.
Let's try to look sophisticated and use this big word, but I can't pronounce it.
Proprietario. That's what I was trying to say. Follow Carrabba's on social media and on Carrabba's.com. Washington Perk and Provision Company. Everything okay over there, Leah?
Yeah, as far as I can tell.
Okay.
They got bread, or they had bread a couple days ago.
Do they have toilet paper?
Well, they didn't post that.
Okay.
It was just bread.
You saw they were posting Wolfie's custards in nice quart-sized containers that are easy to take out.
Awesome. And they have
good.
They have sandwiches. 301 West 4th Street. You can get some of those sandwiches and Wolfie's custards and bread and milk and cheese and chips and all that stuff at Washington Perk, which is better than a convenience store, not quite a grocery store. On Facebook, they're Washington Perk, or at Washington Perk _DTWS on Instagram. The Humblebee Shop, what are they doing? They're taking a couple days off?
Yep, still taking a couple days off to just reassess and figure out where to go from here.
Okay. Well, for right now, they're located at 1003 Brookstown Avenue in the west end of downtown. Go to Instagram and keep an eye on what she is doing, because even if she's not doing this, something will happen because she is that good and that dedicated. The Humblebee Shop wants to challenge your perception of Scratch Made and leave you with an experience you couldn't possibly forget. For more information, follow them on Facebook and Instagram, or visit thehumblebeshop.co.
That's SHOPPE.co.
Keep an eye on the blog, this podcast, wsstrong.com, to find out more about food news and happenings around town. If you have any food news, send us an email, tim@themanowaitstotown.com, or LEARMETZ at is it Gmail? Gmail, right?
Gmail, yeah.
Gmail.
Or on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter Instant Messengers. Like us on Facebook. On Twitter, we are Man Who Number 8 the Town. On Instagram, we are Man Who 8 the Town. And now we invite you to call and leave voicemail for the podcast or any podcast on the TLD network. You can call 336-422-6862. That's right, 336-422.
Numb.
Leave us a voicemail, and we'll play it on the podcast again, 336-422-NUM or 6862.
Numb.
This is a reminder to all the listeners, and just a damn good practice, not just for now, but for always, wash your damn hands. Wash with warm water and soap. It doesn't have to be antibacterial soap, just real soap. Use hand sanitizer anytime you can as well. Sing happy birthday. Sing if you know the words, the opening lines to La Bamba. Any of that. Just sing a song to let it go through. So, well, my name is Tim.
My name's Ray.
I'm Leah.
And we are closing the recipe box. Until next time, thank you for reading. Thank you for listening. Bon appetit. Yamas. The views and opinions stated by me or any of my guests are solely those of ours and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of our hosting companies, distributors, enemies, friends, or relatives. This podcast is copyrighted and cannot be reproduced or distributed without express written consent of the Man Who Ate the Town, that's me, and Such Limited Inc. However, if you ask nicely, we'll probably let you.